New Masso pendant showed up today. Go ahead and open it up. Coiled cable. Came with a hanger. There's the pendant controller itself. So this will really help with the accuracy for setting up start positions, especially when you work from center, which I do a lot of round stuff, so I work from the center a lot. This will work really well. You can move your X, your Y, or your Z. It also has 3, 4, 5, and 6 for other axes. You have 0.1, 1, and 10 millimeter. And then a very, very good feel to the click as it turns. So you can move left or right, forward and back. Also has an emergency stop on it, which is nice. So we'll go ahead and get this hooked up. So when you open up the Masso controller, the touch controller on the side of the G3 Masso G3 controller, there's one serial D connector that this plugs into, and it plugs right in. Now, there is a difficulty with this. I believe this pendant was designed before the G3 has been around for a while, the touchscreen G3. So the touchscreen case was designed and added later. And I think this design was already there. So you got two choices. You can either use a Dremel or something and cut a hole out here. The easier thing to do is just to take off the plastic case on the D connector. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then you just take the plastic pieces off and you're left with the D connector. These are really well put together. They're well soldered in there, and they have heat shrinks over each one, so they're not going to touch each other. You're not going to have any problem with that. You'll be able to plug this right in, angle it down, and be able to close your controller without any problem. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to feed this through from the back of the controller. And then bring it in under and around all the wires that are already there. Bring it up and plug it right into that D controller. It only fits one way. You can recover the screws from the connector case if you want. But realistically, once you plug this in, you're not going to have any problem with it. Serial D connectors have been around for a long time. They hold real tight. I probably will punch 2 holes through the back of this and put a zip tie around it just to hold it. But that's all you really need to do. And that gives plenty of room for your controller to be able to close up. And then you can put your screws back in to hold the controller closed. And there is 0 setup required to use this pendant with the Masso G3 controller, regardless of what machine you have. I have the OneFinity Elite Journeyman, and I'm going to give it a test right now. Let's go ahead and fire up the controller. Take it off the stand here so I can take it off the tabletop. Standard startup routine. Home the machine. This thing does have a really nice coiled cord. I'll take the plastic bag off that here shortly. But first things first, we're going to give it a test and make sure it works. Get my machine homed. So with the OneFinity and the Masso controller in general, it homes and touches off on the touch plate so it knows its current depth. Now we're going to bring the controller over here. Now on the controller, you have a setting for X, Y, Z, 4th, 5th, and 6th axis, and then the resolution you want the controller, the pendant to work at. And I'm going to go ahead and set this for the 10 position, which is 1 millimeter. And we're going to set for the Y axis and give it a turn. You can see that's moving really nicely. I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to the 100th position. And you can see that works really smoothly. X position and Z position. So there's certainly other options available for pendants on the market that work with the Masso controller. I chose this one just because I knew it was plug and play. I'd be able to plug it in and just start using it. I like the hanger. I like hanging it here. It also does have a 10-foot coiled cable on it. It's got nice weight to it. It feels good in your hand. It'll sit well on the table without really moving while you use it, which is nice just because of the weight. The hanger is nice. Hang it up out of the way. But also, if you have a steel table or a steel frame on your CNC, it does have magnets on the back, so it will stick that way also, so you can get it out of the way. Some of the other pendants on the market have buttons that can be programmed on the Masso controller, but I have my own button box that I already built myself that does my vacuum on, vacuum off, home, and return to park. One of the things that this will be really nice for me, obviously you have the OneFinity probe that you can use if you're working from a corner, but I do almost all of my work exclusively from the center of my stock. It's just how I learned how to use a CNC machine, and I'm comfortable with that. So this makes it much easier to find that origin point without having to keep coming back to the small buttons on the screen and hit just the right place with the buttons. This has got really nice resolution, so it'll be real easy to find center and set my origin points. That's the connector housing from when I took it off. I do keep things like this because you never know, you may want to put it back together. You might want to put it back on for one reason or another. So it's nice to just toss those aside and set them somewhere. But all in all, I would say this is a great addition to my OneFinity Journeyman Elite. As my friend Jack Forsberg from Jack English Machines would say, that is something for the cool shit club, no doubt.